Hi everyone, it's Mindy Eggen and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm creating an underwater scene. I will be ink blending a background using a stencil. I'm going to also be ink blending my die cuts on that adorable seahorse. And then I'm also creating this layered window look. This video is also a part of a video hop celebrating the June 2026 release from Altenew. I will have information about the giveaway linked down below in the video description and also a link to the next person in the video hop. So be sure to check that out. The first thing I'm starting off with is my stencil to create the background, and I will be using the Under the Sea Jamboree stencil. It is a three-piece layering stencil. So I'm going to grab out my 9x12 sticky mat to hold my cardstock in place. I am going to start with an actual 6x6 piece of cardstock, which is the same size as the stencil. Now, because of that, I don't have any room for my stencil to actually stick down to the sticky mat. So once I place the stencil over the top of the cardstock, I'm going to hold the stencil down to the sticky mat using some low tack tape. You just want to make sure you're finding areas of the stencil that don't have your design because you don't want to block that beautiful design. This first layer of the stencil creates the seaweed in the background, and so for that, I picked out a beautiful bright green collection from Altenew. This is the Whispering Woodland collection. I started with a large blending brush at first, but there are some fine areas of the stencil that were kind of catching on the larger brush, so I decided to switch to a small one. This does take a little bit more effort and time, but I feel like I was getting better results and the stencil was kind of holding in place a little bit better. Now, as usual, with a lot of my ink blending, especially for backgrounds, I like to start with kind of a light base color. That's going to be my highlight. And then I'm going to bring in a darker shade. This is maybe a step or two darker than the original one. And this is going to be pretty sporadic. I'm trying to keep that darker color towards the base of all the seaweed, but of course that's really hard when they're kind of scattered throughout the background. So I just kind of went throughout the background, did a little bit here and there. It also helps create movement in the background by having those darker colors scattered throughout. All right, now we move on to the next layer of the stencil, and that is going to be adding these cute little fish in the background. So I'm lining that up over the top of my cardstock. It's the same size as the stencil, tacking that down with that low tack tape once again. And for this one, I am going to be using the Cherry Blossom Fresh Dye Ink Collection. So it has some really nice bright pinks in it, but I'm not going to stick with just pink. I'm also going to bring in Pocket Full of Sunshine. So what I did is I started with a light pink. Some of my fish are going to be completely pink. Some of them I'm only ink blending maybe about half of them because when I bring in this light yellow, I'm filling in the rest of those areas. That way, when the yellow overlaps with the pink, we're getting kind of this cute two-tone look to the fish. But of course, I have now some pink. I also have orange and two-tone, and then I also have some fish that are a nice bright yellow. The last layer of the stencil is going to be adding in the bubbles, which is super fun for this background. I'm going to be using pool ink. There isn't a lot of real detail work that I can do to this, so just sticking to that one color throughout the entire background, and that is using Aqua Island Fresh Dye Ink Collection. This would also be really great as like a tone on tone if you did it on blues or even pink cardstock and just changed up the shades of the colors that you're using on each stencil. Now, because my background is white, I thought it was a little bit too stark white. So I just used the leftover ink that I had on my blending brush to kind of glaze over the top of that. Now I'm going to create the window for the front of my card. So this die set is super fun and I like creating kind of a layered window look to make it look like you're looking through a tunnel or a cave. I'm going to be starting with, I think this is the Aqualicious cardstock, and I die cut I think it was the second largest die out of that collection. And then I'm also going to be using, I believe this is Lagoon cardstock. I will have everything linked down below in the video description, but I lined up the next smallest shape in my window opening, ran that through the die cut machine, and now I have this layered look. It's going to end up where I'm using a very small portion of my stencil background, and I'm fine with that because it was a really easy stencil to use, so I can always go back and create a full panel if I want to. For a little bit of shimmer and interest, I am adding some iridescent shimmer spray. I'm just splattering that onto each of the pieces of cardstock. So both of my windows, trying to really get it more towards the opening because that's really what you're going to see as the edges. But I'm also going to add it to my background. You're not going to really see it at first, but when you tilt it in the light, you will see that iridescent shimmer on your card front. Now, what really makes this kind of give you that tunnel or cave feeling is popping up your panels. And thankfully, Altenew has these different widths of foam tape. This is the thinner one, and that is going to give it just a little bit of lift between each layer, but not super bulky. It was really, really hard to resist creating a shaker card because I can just imagine some moonlight or iridescent sequence in here to have it be a fun shaker card and give the look of bubbles. But I went for just a layered card today. Off screen, I trimmed my stencil panel down to 4¼ by 5½ and then layered both of my panels over the top of that. Now for a sentiment, I have these One Go Solid Sentiment banners. You can get this in a stamp set, you can get it in a press plate, and then there's a coordinating die. So you do all the sentiments at once, whether it's stamping, better press, or foiling, and then you die cut them all at once. And they have 3 each of these different shapes. You have some straight banners, wavy banners, and then some curved banners. So I had already used the better press plate to foil them out of a satin gold foil for with my glimmer machine. So I just picked out one of those that I had left over from that previous project. Now, I'm also really in love with this cute little seahorse. So I die cut it all out of white cardstock, and then I am going to give it kind of the same type of coloring that I did for my stencil in the background. I am using the Summer Afternoon Fresh Dye Ink Collection, and again with the Cherry Blossom. So I started with always using the lightest color first, building up that color for each layer and just adding that darker color to one side. And as this kind of goes through, I am going to have that layered together and it's going to create a really dimensional look. I also wanted my seahorse to be super vibrant because I needed to stand out from my background. So here you can see is where I'm bringing in the Rubelite from the Cherry Blossom collection. I needed it to pop just a little bit more. And then I am following the layering guide that Altenew provides to layer my seahorse together. Now, there was one part of the head that I didn't completely ink blend. I thought it would actually be completely covered up. And you're going to see here as I layer it together that I have this bright white strip that sticks out. I will end up just using what's left on a blending brush to try and give that some color so it's not so stark white. It ends up being a little bit more pink than I wanted, but it's still a nice, bright, vibrant seahorse to stand out against that cave background. And now once everything is assembled, dry, and ink blended, I'm going to add some thin foam tape behind my seahorse. I'm going to pop this up right in the center. So I know after all of that ink blending, it may feel like I wasted time doing that background, but we didn't. It adds so much, really builds the scene for this seahorse character. And then the sentiment, I'm going to pop up just adding foam tape on each end and spread that across down towards the bottom. And then one more thing I wanted to add because I needed just a little bit more sparkle is I'm going to add the crystal moonlight sequence around my cave and even inside of those cave windows. While I'm finishing that up, I just want to let you know to be sure to leave comments on each of the videos. That is how you are entered into the giveaway. Altenew always puts together some amazing giveaway packages, so be sure to leave a comment and then winners will be picked, and check the video description for all the details about that. And that is the completed card. I just love how the cave window framing really draws your eye straight to that seahorse. It's so much prettier in person. Now, don't forget, all of the supplies I used will be linked down below in the video description and over on my blog so you can find everything easily. This card is a part of the Altenew Video Hop, so make sure you hop on over to the next person on the lineup. The link will be down below as well. Thank you all so much for joining me, and if you're interested, here is another video that I think you'll enjoy.